Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and this video is me want to briefly talk about a show that just ended on streaming services, and I watched. It's been highly touted. I think a lot of people have been talking about this particular show, and of course I wanted to watch it as well. I've never played the game before, but I was aware of it and I did want to check it out. It's a post-apocalyptic drama based on HBO, which I am able to watch on Disney Plus Hotstar, and it is The Last of Us, created by Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann for HBO. It is based on the 2013 video game of the same name, Zombie Holocaust. Well, a zombie-like creatures is basically a fungus infection that makes them into this violent zombie-like ravaging and cannibalistic nature. It stars mainly Pedro Pascal as Joel and Ellie, Ellie played by Bella Ramsey. And I had a doubt, and before I started watching the show, I had to check. She was in the show Game of Thrones briefly as one of the those child princesses or the. You also have Nicole Parker, Merle Dandridge, who I absolutely love. I've seen her in a couple of shows before. Unfortunately, her character gets killed at the end of this season. She's only there in a couple of episodes, but absolutely love her. You also have playing Joel's younger brother, Tommy, Gabriel Luna, who also is only in a couple of episodes. You also have Anna Torv, who plays Joel's initial partner, Jess. He's an Australian actor. I thought it was somebody else. Anyway, and yeah, that's kind of about it as far as the main cast goes. You also do have a small role, supporting role played by oh boy, what's her name? Sorry, what's his name? Melanie Liskey, who was also surprising. She's normally I've seen her mostly in comedy stuff, but yeah, a couple of dramas as well. She plays this leader of a revolutionary group within Kansas City. And you also have Rutina, what's her name now? Rutina Wesley, who was in True Blood. And you also have the veteran native actor, actually he's native Canadian, First Nations person, actor, Graham Greene, who's been in so many shows and movies that absolutely adore the guy. Anybody else who I recognize? Oh yeah, Nick Offerman, who I've only seen bits of. I've seen him in some shows. He is in Parks and Recreation and a couple of other stuff. I've seen him in a few things. Also very surprising, playing a gay man in this movie. Not because it's gay, but it's just that he looks pretty different then, with the full beard and all that stuff. He was also, I've seen him in The Millers and some other stuff. Like quite a few things, but I don't think I've seen way too much of him. Anyway, now this show, now that I've mentioned who the actors are, what the show is about, basically Joel's character, after in the beginning you see him and his brother escaping from the people who are infected in their neighborhood. It comes all of a sudden, and then they're trying to escape the military who's shooting people who are infected, and his daughter is killed by the military. So then it's just him and his brother, and then 20 years later, I think it's set 20 years later after that. Yeah, 20 years later. So he's now a middle-aged man living in some quarantine zone, which is called as QZ, in the Boston area, and he's asked by the Fireflies leader. Fireflies are basically this rebel group. They asked him and his partner Tess, played by Anna Torv, they asked him to get this young girl Ellie to Massachusetts because somewhere in there, because she's infected, but she's immune to the fungus infection. So um, they want to do test on her to try and find a cure. So she's very, very important, and that's basically what it is. You get to see excuse me, you get to see their journey, uh, all throughout, passing through the phase, escaping from people. Tess gets killed a couple of episodes in, so it's just the two of them. And over a period of time, much to his chagrin, he actually starts feeling a bit of a parental bond towards the girl. Kind of reminds him of his daughter, and it's just basically their trials, going through the path. And finally, when they do reach the area, it's not a spoiler alert. Um, we actually get to know how Ellie was became immune, because her mother, before she gave birth to Ellie, got bitten by one of them, and then Marlene had to take the baby and then kill the mother, because she's got to take care of the child, and if she turns and starts trying to bite off Ellie, that will be absolutely disastrous. So Marlene, however, ends up at this hospital where Joel and Ellie were headed, and they find out that Joel is initially knocked out by some of the soldiers, Firefly soldiers, because they didn't know initially who he was, but then Ellie is taken in, and he finds out from Marlene that they will have to cut off her brain, so she is going to die after the surgery is done. So he rebels and he kills off the soldiers, and he goes and gets to the place where they are doing the operation, kills the surgeon for resisting, and then he gets Ellie away from there. Marlene comes and intercepts them, but he managed to get the upper hand. He was hiding a gun under the unconscious, still sedated Ellie, and then he shoots her dead, and then he takes her away. And as they go back, he tells Ellie that Marlene was killed. They were attacked by some raiders, and he says that the cure is not possible. That they also found some other. She doesn't know what has happened, right? So towards the end, he just explains he makes up a story, and he tells her this is what actually happened. He doesn't want her to know what really happened, and that ends the first season. I don't know if they've got a season 2 so far. They must have. Yeah, it has been renewed for the second season. Oh, way before the show was actually aired. Oh, anyway, that basically is the story. So I wanted to watch it because a lot of people, to be honest, I've kind of had my fill of zombie stuff, even though I play a lot of zombie killing games on my phone. My current one, if you want to see, the one that I'm really addicted to right now is something called Into the Dead Part 2, or Into the Dead 2, and that's the one that I really like currently, and I'm enjoying it a lot. But I'm not really a big gamer. I just happened to start downloading some games maybe like 6 months ago, a little over 6 months ago. But I used to love I love horror, as you probably know from my channel. I love watching a lot of horror movies, love zombie films, but this isn't exactly zombie, and to be honest, it's more focused on the people who have survived. And I'll be honest with you, I was expecting a lot more. I don't know if people are really, really gaga over this show. It's been given a lot of praise, and to be honest, is this what you really, really like? I mean, it's not a bad show in any shape or form. I can only give it a 7 out of 10 so far. The first few episodes are boring. They are boring, to be honest. It only picks up towards the end. Let me see what is the rating on IMDb. On IMDb, and of course some other people have got other issues with the character Joel not being played the way that it is in the games. On IMDb, it's got an 8.9 out of 10. Seriously, I'm going to do it right now. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Not the greatest. Like I said, I like the last 3 episodes a lot more than the first 6, or maybe at least the last 4 episodes. but movies are that great, to be honest. And I'm not the biggest fan of Pedro Pascal. I do like him, but he sucked in Wonder Woman 2, and this one is just about okay. That's basically it. I want to talk about The Last of Us. I will, of course, watch the next season, but don't hold your breath. I'm not really enamored by this show, as a lot of other people seem to be. That's it. Good night.